Hey guys, John Bergsman here, live from Johnson's Great Outdoors here in downtown Whitehall, Michigan. We're kind of setting up forward looking a little bit. We're excited because we'll come back here because this is one of the premier ice fishing lakes in Michigan, White Lake, along with Muskegon Lake. But today, 6 great reports. Listen, we've just come out of on this Wednesday morning, we're going to be coming out of 3 days of really cold weather. But the great news is we're looking at 10 or 12 days of above average temperatures beginning on Thursday. So we're going to continue to hammer on the things that are available to fishermen while we wait for ice. We got 6 reports. The first one we're going to start out of is Monroe, Michigan. The Sterling State Park Monroe bite has been fast and furious. Guys, it's going big time. Then we're going to head on up to Saginaw Bay, and we're going to talk about another hot bite, which is the Saginaw Bay bite this year for really big fish. Then we're going to slide over to Southwest Michigan, hook up with Captain Tony, talk about the big steelhead bite that's going on there in the St. Joe and the Kalamazoo River. Then we're going to head on over to Tawas, talk with Mikey Parnicki Jr. I tell you what, guys, that Tawas bite has been extremely consistent this year for a combination of lake trout and walleyes. Right now, it's walleyes casting. For walleyes, a really interesting bite. And then we're going to head over to Cleveland. We're going to talk about walleye fishing in Cleveland because with this warmer weather, they're actually saying next week sometime there's going to be mid-50s along the northern Ohio shoreline of Lake Erie. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, mid-50s. So that bite is not going to shut down anytime soon. Then we're going to end here on Muskegon Lake, a great Muskegon Lake bite from a local fisherman who's willing to spill the beans and tell some of you novices exactly how to catch these awesome late fall walleyes on Muskegon Lake. Stay tuned. In-depth reports from 6 great regions here on the Fisherman's Digest Hot Bite Report. So first report of the day, Monroe, Sterling State Park, hot bite. Hey, guest report this week from James Taylor and his buddies. Thanks, James, for an awesome report. It's actually very close to the report our captains gave out of Monroe as well. But we're going to use James's report because you know what? We love guest reports here on Fisherman's Digest. So what's the bite? 50 to 60 feet back on bandits, or 45 feet back, 40 to 45 feet back on deep reapers. Now, custom Domka colors have been working great, according to James. It was quick limits. I'm talking about 23 to 24 feet of overall depth, Stony Point to DTE, and trolling 15, 16 right in there. And that depth zone with either bandits 50 to 60 or reapers 40 to 45 has been hot, hot, hot. James said they had 7 fish on at a time, a couple of times during their day. So they had several guys in the boat, obviously, probably running, 8, 10 rods, but having 7 fish on is insane. Getting them all in the boat is even more insane. So the fish, all the fish that have been passing through Huron for the last 2 months, well, we talk about that Huron report. Well, guess what? They ran into the dead end, and the dead end is the Monroe, Michigan area as they stage to go up the Detroit River in the spring. So this piece of water out of Monroe is going to get packed with fish. There are so many fish in the Lake Erie system. Regardless of how many get removed, it seems like that many get replaced every year, and fishing remains out of sight. Best I've ever seen in my life. So get a hotel room. Monroe's got lots of different hotel options close to the ramps. Domka Outdoors is right there off of La Pleasance Road. And you can get all your baits there. Dave and Aaron have got a good stock of baits even after Black Friday. They've been painting hard and keeping all stocked up. So get your baits, get out there. 50 to 60 foot on bandits, 40 to 45 on deep reapers, 1.5 to 1.6, 23, 24 foot. Now, if you're looking to just get out on a charter, obviously we got Captain Nick Dode from Real Live Action Sport Fishing, who's now a full-time charter captain. gave the old career up, and he's in the boat all the time. So give Nick a call, and there's going to be lots of good days coming. I know it's freezing today, but the next 12 days are looking at a lot of 40 and mid, even upper 40s there in the Monroe area. Give Captain Nick Doe a call. Real live action sport fishing. Also, Michael Downey from Relentless Grind Guide Service is also running still this time of year. That guy never quits fishing. I'm telling you, he'll break ice to get out there. So one of those two guys can get you out on the water. You have a great day out of Monroe.
The Bait Shop in Waterford is your one-stop live bait and fishing tackle destination. With an awesome selection of rods and reels, custom-poured jigs, soft plastics, and panfish baits. The Bait Shop also has seasonal items for ice fishing, the Spring River Walleye Run, and summer salmon, bass, walleye, and pan fishing. Visit the Bait Shop in Waterford for all your bait and tackle needs.
So guys, Jason Graham from Send It Charters has been up in the Saginaw Bay area for the last month to 6 weeks. And let me tell you what, he's been sending in awesome reports. And the size of the fish, when you see the fish going across the screen, is what's really impressive. Seems like these fish, this year's fall run has been bigger fish, lots more bigger fish. And a lot of that could be because it took so long for the water to cool down that it seemed like all those big fish pushed in at once, and they're all staging right around the shipping channel. So whether you're east of the shipping channel or west of the shipping channel, you're just going to be wanting to fish with big custom crankbaits, real bright colors, contrast colors, gold and oranges, purples, whites, chartreuses, just a lot of different stuff is working right now. Some of the baits that are working, Deep Reapers are working, Husky Jerk 12 and 14s are working. I'd really be running 14s right now, even over 12s. And of course, Bandits always seem to work in that piece of water. So speed as the water cools, and water's only 38 degrees right now, so it's cooling off on the inner bay much quicker than out on bigger bodies of water. So 38 degrees, we're gonna have this is today, Wednesday, our third cold day in a row, so the water's gonna start getting close to freeze up, but then we're gonna have this 2 weeks of warm weather. So guess what? It's all hands on deck. Everybody should be headed over there. If you've got your boat in storage, Jason Graham from Send It Charters can get you out and take care of you. If you go to our website, Fisherman's Digest, you can always see these printed reports that I talk about each week, and Jason's phone number and contact information are right there. So anyway, get out on Saginaw Bay. This is always a great bite in the month of December pre-ice. Fish are big, fish are fast. Just bundle up accordingly and you'll have a great day on the water.
Midwest Steel Carports is Michigan's premier steel building manufacturer. We manufacture and install custom steel buildings throughout Michigan. Our engineer-certified steel buildings are fully tailored to fit your every need, and our up to 40-year warranty protects your investment. From residential storage sheds to commercial warehouses, let our team work with you to find your ideal building. For more information and pricing, visit MidwestSteelCarports.com.
So hey guys, Southwest Michigan, we've got some great steelhead reports from Captain Tony from Always On Sport Fishing, and he has been catching fish on two different rivers. So he fishes the Kalamazoo River and the St. Joe River. Now, what's been going on there has been a combination of trolling some crankbaits or actually swinging crankbaits, sweeping them through the holes. What's been working there? Either mag lip 3.5s in good old boy Grinch, are been the two best colors, or he's also been using some Hottentots as well. Now that's an old bait, but Wiggleworts, Hottentots, and Maglip 3.5s seem to be the three crankbaits that are producing the best. Having some orange on your crankbaits is always an advantage when you're sweeping in those deeper holes in the river. Seems like that's a trigger. Orange and gold is an old standby color, and it's working right now in those two rivers. A couple other presentations that are working really good is either beads and bobbers or spawn and bobbers. And Tony on the St. Joe has actually been jigging spawn as well. That sounds crazy, but he's just jigging spawn in deep runs and having some decent success. So there's a lot of different ways you can catch the fish. Tony's capable and really a good fisherman at all of those presentations. So you don't need to go there and be an expert to be able to tap into some really great steelhead fishing right now in Southwest Michigan. So give Captain Tony a call. If you are going to take your own boat on the St. Joe, they did shut down the 94 launch. That's just a little FYI. So if you're going to go there, use a different launch. We just don't want you to drive all the way down there and go, oh, rats, the whole river shut down. No, just that launch is shut down. So lots of good fishing to be had in Southwest Michigan. Moderate temperatures coming. Fishing should be awesome for the next couple weeks.
You always get the best at Beck's Trailer Superstore, the nation's largest trailer dealer. With over 1,500 trailers on 45 acres, you won't find a better selection anywhere. Whether you're looking for an open or enclosed trailer for work or play, you'll find the perfect trailer at Beck's. We have flexible financing options through several national and local lenders to offer the most competitive rates and payments from only $69 per month with approved credit. For the best selection of quality trailers at unbeatable prices, call 888-SAVE-BECKS or visit BecksTrailerStore.com.
So, hey guys, we're going to jump into Tawas. This has been a bite we've talked about many times this year, and Mikey Parnicki Jr. from Real Operator Guide Service is still fishing, and that's because Lake Huron stayed warm much longer than normal, and that little cut bay in Tawas that normally freezes up early is still wide open, so there's some really good fishing from Tawas Point down to the river mouth and even further down the shore to the marina. Now, how's Mikey fishing these fish? Their walleye and Lakers are coming in and staging in shallow water, 10 to 20 foot of water. Mikey's catching them casting, which is a really great and fun way to catch these fish this time of year. Most people troll, Mikey casts. So that's a really hands-on presentation. How's he doing it? Casting big shallow dive and jerk baits or crank baits. Also casting big plastics like a Strike King 375 or, even up to a 5-inch, the 5.0 is a really good bait. The whitish color baits are definitely working the best. Ice would be a great color choice if you're looking. Or white with a smoked top also is a really good color choice at this time of the year. Now, you're slow rolling these baits. So you're putting maybe, you're fishing 10 to 20 feet of water. So you're going to maybe put a 1/2 or 3/8 of an ounce head on. Let that bait sink all the way to the bottom, pop it once, and then you're just going to really slow roll that bait back into you. Even pausing and stopping, letting the bait sink back to the bottom, even sit there for 2-3 counts and go ahead and pop it again and keep picking it up and slowly bringing it back to you. Fish are pretty lethargic this time of the year, but definitely still feeding and willing to bite. So this is once you get the cadence down, that's really the key. The second key is you see me with my Garmin vest on. That's because finding fish on structure is the key at this time of year. There isn't just fish laying around everywhere. You want to use side imaging or live scope to identify the fish on these breaks. And when you find them, you're going to find more than one. And that's really kind of the key. So you're using a combination of spot lock, either forward looking with live scope or side imaging to find the fish, spot lock right there, and then go ahead and you'll know directionally. Of course, you're always going to be looking to the shoreline side of the boat. So the second you see him, hit your spot lock. So you're kind of cruising along slowly till you see him hitting your spot lock. Another tip here is always look going into the wind. So when you hit your spot lock, your boat isn't moving. It's just stopping right there and spot locking. The wind's going to push you back. Spot lock's going to fight it. And then you're going to be perfectly positioned to just turn to shore and make some fan casts to shore until you exactly locate where those fish are at. Typically, if you get a bite somewhere, you can go right back close to that cast where that cast originated and likely get other bites. That's kind of the way this cold water thing works. There's usually a handful of fish in an area rather than just one. So use your electronics to find fish. Cast to them, either big crankbaits or big plastics. Slow roll the stuff in. Find the cadence that works. If your boat's put away and you don't want to dump it in and try it, give Mikey at Real Operator a call. He can get you out. You can experience this and then maybe next year do it yourself. Hey, visit Tawas, Michigan. It's a very unique port with that great combination of lake trout and silverfish and walleye year round.
White River Tackle's Perch Pounder is the finest two-hook perch rig in the industry. Its unique fish skin technology, coupled with a soft glow bead, make the Perch Pounder irresistible to fish. Available in a variety of fish-catching colors, simply tip each hook with your favorite live bait and let the fun begin. So whether it's perch, crappie, or bluegill, ask for White River's Perch Pounder by name.
So, hey guys, next report, a new report out of Cleveland. We're going to kind of leave Huron and slide over to the east a little bit and get into that tail end bite, because there's always a group of fish that's leading and there's always a group of fish that's tailing. Well, the fish out in front of Cleveland right now are the tail enders, but believe me, Captain Matt Lieben from Slow Trollin' tells me that there is still a bunch of fish in front of Cleveland, right out in front of the east wall in 44 feet of water. He's been catching fish. Now, the fish are in little tight pods, but there's lots of pods. It's not like you have to search forever. So the leads have been 75 back on custom bandits or 60 back on deep reapers. That seems to be the two baits and the leads that are working the best. Now, lots of fish being caught. He said he caught, his full boat limit on a charter, no problem, by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's putting 24 fish in the boat in short order. So the fishing's been really good. Just remember to hit your waypoints, use your electronics, hit your waypoints. Even though it's open water fishing, the fish are in pods. So that pod might be the size of a football field. And when you get out of it and the bite goes away, you're going to want to circle back around, put those GPS coordinates at the fulcrum of your figure eights, and you'll stay on the fish all day long. Now, the other thing is if you're going to make a long exploratory troll, same thing. When you catch fish, hit your GPS. When you're dead, don't do anything. You catch it. You might be able to identify 2-3 pods of fish in a long mile and a half long troll. And that gives you 3 different options. You can look at the size of the fish out of each group and decide which one you want to go back and really work. Now, obviously, wind is a factor. If you can't do a lot of figure eighting because the wind is just too strong, then just go ahead and do what I just said, which is pull all your stuff up, run back up and make that troll again, but be very expectant when you get close to those GPS numbers, because it's likely those fish are going to snap again when you get to those different marks that you put in from previous catches. Now, again, this is one of those bites that Cleveland, I'd say Port Clinton to Cleveland is one of those areas of the lake that seems to just be a lot longer of a bite window than most because of the sheer number of fish. And that's been good for everybody. So if you're looking to get out and you're in that northern Ohio region, that Lorain to Geneva, let's say, and you're looking for a charter who's still operating, Matt Lieben from Slow Trollin', you can jump right online and look him up, and he can get you on the water. He's going to continue to fish as long as weather permits. And I'll tell you what, starting tomorrow, Thursday, weather's going to be permitting for a good 2 to 3 weeks yet for sure. So you're going to be able to fish all the way through Christmas up to the new year. As far as we can see, that looks like it's going to be in the mid to low 40s there on that northern Ohio shoreline. Very, very fishable. Lots of fish to be had. Give Matt a call. Check out the full line of Polar Kraft boats at polarcraft.com. Hey, big shout out first of all to Jared Dirks for sending us a great Muskegon Lake report. Now, like I mentioned, we're here at Johnson's Great Outdoors, and we're going to talk about this store at the end of this report. This is in the greater Muskegon area. We're in Whitehall here on White Lake, but Muskegon Lake and White Lake are very similar lakes at this time of the year, where they cough up some really, really good catches of walleye, including some gigantic fish. This report's going to be a Muskegon Lake report from Jared, where he's been catching fish in the shallows along the Bear Lake Channel. Now, his presentation for all you rookies has been he's casting Husky Jerk 12s, and he's slow rolling or twitching or a combination of both those in. So he's spot locking his boat on the break and casting up into 4 or 5 feet of water, and then he's rolling, which is a super slow retrieve along with a twitch. That's what I call slow rolling. It's not really a jerk bait presentation, because with jerk baiting, you're giving it hard snap jerks and you're letting slack line go on. That's an aggressive summer presentation. Slow rolling is when you cast that bait out, it hits the water, you roll a real consistent roll, you stop, meaning pause, a good 1 to 2 seconds, and then twitch that bait real softly, pause again, and then continue reeling. That's slow rolling. And that presentation is what you want to use in the fall when this water is cooling off and these big fish are there, especially as you get toward dusk. Now, you're going to want to use contrast baits. Clowns work really good. You want something to help the walleye pick out your bait in that darker water conditions. A lot of guys fish White Lake and Muskegon Lake at night or in the evening. They'll get there in late afternoon and they'll go ahead, around dinner time. It gets dark by 5:30 right about now. So they're out there on the water getting set up at maybe 4:30 and getting into the position they want to most primarily fish. And then they go ahead and fish hard in that dusk time out into maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. That seems where most of the guys are fishing. Now, if you're looking for a secondary opportunity, you can also fish the shipping channel itself out in front of the Coast Guard station, 20 to 25 feet of water, and you can slow troll 1, 2, 1, 3 miles an hour, big baits. Now, you're going to be using P10s or big number 13 Husky jerks, not the deep divers, the shallow lip divers, just your standard Husky jerk. And you're going to want to troll those, maybe 70 to 90 feet behind your offshore boards. You can also put lights on your offshore boards that'll give you a help and assistance. In fact, I strongly suggest you do that, because if you get other boaters out there, it can get to be a real problem if guys are not running lights on their boards. It helps the other angler know where your setup is, and that's very helpful. Also, you don't have to run your boards a mile out like you do in calm water on Lake Erie. There's just too many fishermen at times out there for you to get too far from your boat. It just becomes a problem again. So be courteous when you're out there. There's lots of fish to be caught right now. And the other suggestion is Jared's report, his in-depth report, is probably 4 or 5 paragraphs long, and it's on our website. If you go to fishermansdigest.com and then go ahead and click on fishing reports and then go to the Muskegon area, you can just print that whole report off. And it's a very, very informative report that gives you specific presentations, sizes of baits, as well as techniques of how Jared would fish those baits, coming from a local angler who's done it for years and years and years. Very informative, very helpful. These are the types of things you can get on the website when you go to the fishing reports and go back into our system and actually print those reports off. I've given you the basis of these reports here on the video report each week, but a lot of guys will go in and print those off, and it becomes very helpful when they go out and fish themselves. Now, like I said, we're here at Johnson's Great Outdoors. Now, this is a staple store here in the greater Muskegon Whitehall area, because Johnson's is the go-to spot for getting all of your tackle and equipment year-round. Now, one of the best things about the general Muskegon Whitehall area is the fact that Muskegon Lake, White Lake, and the Muskegon River and the White River are all fantastic fishing opportunities year-round. They have steelhead fishing. They've got great smallmouth bass fishing in the summertime. Of course, the White Lake and Muskegon Lakes are 2 of the premier fall and winter destinations. If you're fall fishing, obviously big walleyes. If you're winter fishing, you're going to be targeting perch. You're going to be targeting walleye through the ice. And it's just 2 great spots that a lot of people say, John, talk to me about West Michigan inland lakes. Where do I go? I'm going to start with White Lake and Muskegon Lake. And if you're going to these 2 destinations, you're going to want to start your trip here at Johnson's Outdoors, because the guys here have all the information that you need. They can help you get started in the right direction. They can also help you with the right colors when you're choosing colors, whether it's jigging spoons for ice fishing or whether it's trolling crankbaits. Colors is always important. And so always go to a local bait store with great local knowledge. And here in the greater Muskegon Whitehall area, that's going to be Johnson's Outdoors. So, hey, thanks for joining us today on Fisherman's Digest Hot Bites Report. We'll see you again next week here on Wednesday morning as always.